Hi, I'm Nate, and I put a video up of this castle build last year. I got a lot of views and a lot of questions. It was a time-lapse video that didn't have any information or cost in there, and that was a lot of the comments about it. So I thought I would do this walk around as well as kind of go into details of what all the different pieces cost and show you around. So as you can see, I obviously I designed it myself. I looked at some other play sets out there. The nice ones are very expensive, you know, $10,000 or plus. They do make some ones like this are kind of like a castle playhouse, but they're not sealed up. You know, obviously they don't have power unless you add it. And then there's things like the pirate ships and that kind of stuff that look cool. But when I looked at how much they cost, I was like, I could build something cheaper than that. So this is all a do-it-yourself one. It is all pressure-treated lumber. I bought it from Menards. The mulch is actually rubber mulch that I bought, so it doesn't deteriorate. It's more expensive, but you know, I think so far I've been happy with it. It's been over a year with it. And then a lot of the accessories I bought either through a local Rainbow dealer, which Rainbow is like kind of a higher end residential play set. And then I bought some of the other accessories like the swings and some of the handles just online on Amazon. All of the lumber and the mulch I bought from my local home improvement store. It was Menards. But let's go take a look a little bit closer, and then we'll talk about cost. Okay, so here we have the kind of standard play set tower with a ladder, a straight slide. You have an area underneath it. I put a little half picnic table down there. Some people put a sandbox. I might add one in the future. Up above here on the first level, we have a little bubble window, and then it has some steps to get up to the second level, or the third level, I guess you could call it that, to get to the tower. You can see here we have a fireman's pole. It's about 11-foot tall pole, and there's a big ship wheel up there. Both of those were Rainbow accessories that I just bought and made them fit. Okay, so on the back side of the picnic table, there's actually a rock wall, and I had some designs with this sticking out, or actually sticking out behind the playhouse. I decided to tuck it in and made it a little bit neater, took up a little bit less room in the yard. Okay, so after the rock wall, we could go one over. You can see the swings are set up here. These swings I just bought from Amazon, along with these kind of heavy-duty attachments up to these 4x6s that make up the bridge. There's a ladder on this side, and then up above we have a monkey bar that the kids can go across. So all that's kind of tied into the bridge structure. And then if we keep going over, we have a little mini back door, which is fun for the little kids to go down behind the backside and go in there. And then obviously if you don't have the drawbridge open, this is how you would get in and out. Okay, so kind of around this edge we have the turbo slide. It has an entrance of about 7.5 feet above ground level, so you know, I designed the upper deck to match that. So I did pick the slides out before I designed it, so I knew how high they would be. And then just to the right we have a ladder here, and this ladder allows you to get up. You know, I guess there's kind of three ways. There's this vertical ladder, there's an angle ladder that's easier for kids, and then there's also the rock wall. Wow. All right, so here are the swings, and we have 3 of those set up, and then above the swings we actually have the monkey bars. So the monkey bars are up here, they go across, and then they have the ladder on the side here that you can climb up and down. All right, so here's the drawbridge. This is kind of a fun feature that I came up with. It has cables here. They go up. There's actually 6 pulleys in the roof here. The cable actually goes forward first, and then it turns 180 and goes horizontally back to an overhead hoist. This is just one of those cheap overhead hoists that they sell for like a garage. I think it's rated for 440 pounds. That's with the snatch block in there, so it's like a 220-pound straight vertical lift. And then what I did with that is I took the standard controller that came with it, and it's normally hardwired, and I took that, I cut that off, and I added a 220 4-prong plug because it's 4 wires, and then that allowed me to put a couple things. One, as I have an outlet here and I have an outlet inside, so I can move this controller that way. And the other thing I like about it is that it allows me to take this away so the kids can't play with it if I'm not around and it's up high. All right, so inside we finished it off a little bit. I have plywood finished, and we painted it, and then we have the this is just cheap sticky vinyl flooring that's self-adhesive. There is power, obviously, so we have the lights. These are Zigbee lights, so they're actually smart lights, and they're multicolor. So I can say, okay, Google, set the playhouse lights to green, and it should take these and it'll turn them to green here in a second. There you go. And then also these outside lights are also smart lights, so I can control them from the house. And then if you come inside here, we do have a little electric fireplace heater, and this does work, and it keeps this place warm. And it has a smart outlet as well, so I can keep the power off of it, and it gives me a text if she comes in here and flips it on when I'm not around. Okay, so up here we're on the upper deck, and we have a couple of the accessories I bought. Like I said, some of these are rainbow. I think this one's actually rainbow, but this one's Amazon. There's a tic-tac-toe over there that Elise is playing with, and then inside here there's a little driving wheel setup, and then obviously here's the turbo slide, the tube slide that goes down there. In here you can see I added a couple of windows. They look out to the backyard, so these will be fun things to play. Nerf gun fights or water gun battles as they get older. What you'll notice in here is the flooring. It's gray, and this is a Gorilla decking. So this is obviously not pressure treated wood. And the reason I bought this is because it's waterproof. So it's a PVC product, and it has interlocking channels. So any water that gets between the panels, it all drains off from me towards the camera to that one corner. So this whole upper deck is sloped away from me to enable that. Okay, so now I'm on the bridge portion, and this is kind of high off the ground. So one of the things I was concerned about was how high should this railing be. So I looked up. There are standards out there. Some are recommended, or some are like commercial playground standards for how high this should be off the ground, and it's based off how high off the ground they are. So I follow those rules, and things like how far apart to put ladder rungs, all that kind of stuff. I've looked up online to make sure I followed the best practices there. But so you can see that to my left, your right, there's the new awning. I just got that installed a couple weeks ago. It's an 8-foot wide awning, 7 feet out. It just helps with the heat in the summertime and sun in the eyes when you're swinging. So that was a nice addition that we added. I got lucky because I didn't design for it, but it perfectly fits. All right, so now looking at the lower level, we do have a couple handles here and some steps to help the younger ones navigate up this vertical area to get to the second stage of the tower. There's a little bubble window there that they can look out at people swinging, and then obviously you have a straight slide, and right underneath the camera is the rock wall. Okay, so for cost, it was about $2,500 in lumber and screws, and it's actually surprising how much the screws cost, because it's all pressure treated lumber, so and it's this new high copper content, so you got to have hot dip galvanized or stainless steel. I use hot dip galvanized. And then the rubber mulch is underneath it. I had a lot of that, and so that was $1,000 just for the mulch. And then that special Gorilla decking up top of the playhouse, that was also $1,000 for that one. That's just 80 square feet. And then the rainbow swing set accessories, that was about $250. And then the Amazon accessories were about $250. And then the slides, again, I bought those used. There was about $300. And then it had the paint on the inside and the flooring on the inside. That was $150 or so. And then there were the cables, the pulleys, and the hoist for the drawbridge. That was another $150 for those. And then we had the stain on the outside of the play castle. So that was Bear Premium Plus stuff is what I used. And And that was $150 for that. And then we added the awning. So the awning was another about $200 for that as well.